testing out my new microphone. I'm sorry for the excessive sound that it picks up. So I bought this one online after I watched a YouTube video about the different types of microphones that you can buy. This is probably one of the cheapest ones that you can buy, but the good thing about it is that it is portable and it's small, it's cheap, and yeah, hopefully it'll give me better audio than I've had in my previous videos. I think I'm getting a little bit sick at the moment because it's quite cold in Adelaide and I get sick quite easily. So anyway, I thought I would try out different things on my videos and see what works. I found with my other videos it was sort of repetitive. I was sort of just reading out my blog essentially. So I thought I'll do something different on this channel and I'll see what works, and if it doesn't work, I'll try something different. This is sort of like a podcast style, just a chat with myself because I haven't got any guests yet. Maybe in the future I'll talk to and interview some people, and I don't know, I'll see how it'll go, and I'll see how this microphone goes as well. So I'm just gonna start off with some book recommendations of what I'm currently reading. I'm one of those people who sort of reads several books at once, and yeah, it's quite slow. I wouldn't recommend it, but I like reading different things. So the first book I like to recommend, and it's actually by another YouTuber, well, a famous YouTuber. She resides in Canada and her name is Lilly Singh. On YouTube, I think she calls herself Superwoman. And she has over 13 million subscribers worldwide. And she's been doing YouTube, I think, since 2012. So about 6 years full time. So since she's done YouTube, she's also acted in a few movies. She's had a world tour where she rapped, talked, danced, sang, and yeah, she's written a book as well, so she's quite successful. She's one of those YouTubers that actually do vlogs every single day. She's consistently uploads. I don't know how she does it. I can't even do one video every 4 weeks. It's pretty hard. And yeah, so her channel is hilarious. I love her videos. She does these skits and she's put a lot of thought into it. And she makes it look so natural. She's such a good actor. I'm such a fangirl. But anyway, her book, check out her channel if you haven't already. Her book is titled How to Be a Boss. I think it was written in about 2015 or 16, so a couple of years already. But it's really good. I didn't know what to expect. I've never read a autobiography style book from a YouTuber before. But yeah, it's really good. She has a talent for writing, as I should have known from her scripts on YouTube. But yeah, I would really recommend this book if you're a teenager, you're a child, an adult like myself, or whoever just needs some inspiration and motivation for their life. It's a very inspiring book. She goes into her personal life in there a bit. And you get to really know her from a person, how she started YouTube and what inspired her, and how hard it was when you start out. I obviously can relate because I am starting out now and I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm just learning as I go. I just look to other YouTubers for inspiration, and she's definitely one of them. So she mentioned in a few chapters in her book called Out of the Blue, I think, and this is talking about her and when she was severely depressed. I think it was back in 2009, she said she was basically trying to drink herself to sleep. She was having thoughts about self-harm. And it's really eye-opening because as you would have been aware, we have heard of the recent celebrity deaths of Kate Spade and the other famous chef that I don't know. But yeah, even though they may look fine and they're smiling, they look happy, they're achieving things, but inside they're just basically a high functioning person with mental illness and with depression, and if left untreated, it unfortunately can let them feel all alone, and they feel like they can't reach out because people are looking up to them as good examples. And it can be very stressful if you burn out and you have no one to talk to and you don't connect with anyone. So yeah, it can happen to anyone, and a lot of my favorite YouTubers, they've actually opened up in some of their videos about their own struggles with depression or burnout. Wenji, for example, who is another YouTuber I really, really like, did a 30-minute video, and I listened to the whole thing about how she said she felt like she couldn't make videos, she didn't feel like she felt her life was boring and that no one was interested. And I really, really like those videos because it really shows that YouTube is different to, you know, those Hollywood movie stars. We don't get to see their personal lives. We see the paparazzi following them, but like, you know, paparazzi, they make up fake news all the time. But these YouTube videos, they're made by the person themselves. They're the ones doing the recording. They're the ones who write what they want to say. And they show us their personal lives. And I find like I can connect with YouTubers a lot more than I can with an actor or celebrity, like a K-pop artist or whatever. Unless they do YouTube, though. And that's why I really love YouTube. It's just so much more personal, and you see the celebrity grow, and that's what really inspired me to make my video. Not to get famous, but just to I don't know. It's a journey. It's a hobby. I'm doing this for fun. And that's why I also blog as well. I just enjoy writing and I like sharing my ideas, and if people contribute, that would be great. I love hearing other people's ideas as well, and I read every comment, and even though I've only had 3. Anyway, that's the book, How to Be a Boss, and it just encourages you to be the best person that you can be, and it's just really motivating. It's basically like a self-help book. And I should mention that Lilly Singh has actually completed a degree in psychology. She hasn't done her master's, so she's not a qualified psychologist. But basically, she knows what she's talking about when she talks about self-help. Anyway, the second book that I'm reading is that I will also recommend. I forgot who it's by, but it has a green tick on it. It's called Doable. And basically it's a teen's guide. But it doesn't matter, it can apply to everyone, and it just teaches you how to get goals and how to make your goals into smaller goals and make it more achievable. I haven't finished the book yet, but it's been really good so far in making me think how I can work my way to achieve those goals that I really want to. There's a lot of things I want to do, but sometimes I don't start and I procrastinate because I just feel like I can't do it. But hey, like, you know, Rome wasn't built in one day. We have to start small, and as long as we're building our way to that, we're building our castle brick by brick, we're gonna get there in the end. It's like the tortoise and the hare. It's no point like running forward and then getting burnt out. It's about taking it slow, step by step. Hashtag turtle reference. Yeah, anyway, that's a really good book. I will put the names of these books in the description so that you guys can also check it out, and because I forgot who was the author. And the third book that I'm reading, and I have been reading for a while, for about 2 years, and I haven't finished, but that's okay. It's called The Happiness Trap, and that's by Russ Harris. He's actually from an author from, I think, Melbourne in Australia, but his book's been doing pretty well overseas in the UK as well. And so this book is a self-help book, and it's it was recommended by my psychologist, and she said this is the only book that she's ever going to get me to read. So I bought it, but I haven't finished it. But it is really good, and I haven't read many self-help books. I think this is probably the first one besides How to Be a Boss. And yeah, it's really easy to follow. And basically, it's a book on ACT, which stands for, I think, Action Commitment Therapy. And yeah, it really just helps retrain your mind and makes you more self-aware about your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. It's a really interesting read. It has tasks and activities that you can do as well. It also has the goal setting chapter, which is an overlap with the doable book that I was mentioned. It's a really, really good book, and if you can't afford to see a psychologist, I recommend that you get this book. It's just really inspiring. It's written by a GP, Dr. Russ Harris, and he specializes in mental health. He's not a psychiatrist though. He's a GP. And yeah, he's had a lot of experience talking to his patients about mental health. And yeah, the thing is, he makes it personal as well, which I love, because I love autobiographies. And he mentioned how he struggled with anxiety and procrastination in writing this book as well. And even he has imposter syndrome, where he feels he's not good enough. And it's good to sort of see that even the person who wrote these books aren't claiming that they have it all and that they're perfect all the time. They're still human, and they still go through the same issues, same problems that we have, but they've developed strategies which help alleviate some of these symptoms. And that's what I want, and that's what I've come to understand, that mental illness is not something that can just be erased with an antibiotic. It's not going to be eradicated. It's something that you have to manage, and something that you put into practice. It's easier to see that the effects of physical exercise on our body. We can see our muscles, we see our weight changing, we just feel healthier. But mental health, it's not as obvious. By retraining your brain and having positive thoughts, it will, I think, influence your physical character. I guess you might be more motivated to eat healthy and exercise. Your acne might be better, no stomach aches and stuff. It's more subtle. It's not as noticeable, because it is different in everyone. So I believe that's why people don't look after their mental health as well, because it's not something that you can measure as such. I mean, you might notice it on reflection that you're happier and you're more in control. But it's not something that you can just look in the mirror and go, hey, my mental health is looking great now. It's something like, I don't know, you can't just see it, measure it with a spoon, or like with a scale. And yeah, but a lot of people, I feel like they neglect their mental health. They're really obsessed with like physical health and stuff, but they forget that mental health is, one of the most important things. And if we neglect it too much, unfortunately, it can lead to really bad self-harm or suicide. And yeah, so those are the 3 books I'm reading at the moment. And if you've got a chance, I would highly recommend that you get your hands on it. I'm going to spend just a bit of time talking about